to Boasts and Bores,
the Subscribe show where we talk about places that we love
and places that we hate.
in Colorado Springs.
We're your hosts,
Annika Schmidt.
and Brandon Flannery.
On today's episode, we're talking
Hikes! Okay, so for me, my first one, it's one that I really love. It's super sentimental, but technically it's not in Colorado Springs. Sorry, not sorry. It's the Crags. It's on the backside of Pikes Peak, and it's a long one. It's a good one also for snowshoeing, in case you're a snowshoer, like myself. But it's a long one. But I have some really beautiful memories there. One of my ex-girlfriends, when she...
Brandon!
One of my ex-girlfriends, she was just like, we were still really good friends when we broke up. She was like, hey, there's this new guy, and I need you to meet him. And so then she, like, introduced me to the new guy that was pursuing her. Because, you know, I was
That's
like...
such a good friend move.
Thanks. Yeah, I know. And she was like, yeah, I respect your opinion. I'm just like, thank you. And I met him, and they're still some of my best friends. But the view's beautiful. And you got these gorgeous rocks that just jut out, like they're in Red Rocks Open Space or Garden of the Gods, and it overlooks the backside of Pikes Peak, like looking out towards Divide and all that. Beautiful. I love it.
Is it far to get there?
So like, so you go out to Divide, and then you turn left at the one traffic light in Divide.
Okay.
And then you take a left. That's a little bit further up. It's close to, there's that state park, Mueller State Park. It's close to Mueller State Park.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is a great spot for the colors in the fall.
Nice.
That's a free one.
Love it.
All right, Annika, what's yours?
Yes. Okay. So my all-time favorite hike in the Springs is Seven Bridges, which is located in Cheyenne Canyon.
Which is gorgeous.
Yes. Oh my God. Such a great spot. There's so many great hiking places in there. But
it's also another good spot for snowshoeing.
Okay. Well, I've never been snowshoeing here, actually. Maybe I'll try it out.
Cool.
You know, now that it's summer.
Now that there's no snow.
Yeah. So yeah, Seven Bridges, it's really great. The name comes from the fact that you're hiking through a canyon along a stream, and you cross 7 bridges along your way.
Yeah. And in the summer, it's great because it's really cool. Like,
yes.
it's super shaded.
Yes, it's shaded. It's just a really serene place. And it's a good length, too. It's not too long, not too short.
All you need is light jacket.
Sure.
Do you know the movie?
No.
It's Miss Congeniality.
Oh, okay. I didn't get the reference. I was like, okay.
I will say, so I will always find something to critique because it's me. The one thing that I'm like starting to hate about Cheyenne Canyon, it's getting so packed with people.
You just have to go really early. That's
do.
what I find. Yeah.
And there was a boulder that fell on.
Yes.
What was it?
Gold Camp Road. Yeah.
So the upper way to get to it.
Scary. But
it's really pretty.
The parking lot that you park in for 7 Bridges is right where the paved road ends.
Yeah.
So
right
it's
above
that top like big parking lot. I will say, if you're going early in the morning, it can be a little chilly just because you're in a canyon. Bring a light jacket, yeah. But that's a really cool spot, so check it out.
Perfect. Okay, so I've got another boast. So I live on the west side, best side, and Ute Valley is one that's a hidden gem. It's right there in Rock Rimmon. It also apparently has good bouldering. I haven't been yet, but great spot for like a sunset because it's got a nice ridge. So you can hike up to the ridge and look up at the mountains, and the sun is setting. I normally go there with my little pipe, and I'll smoke my pipe like a little old man.
Very nice.
On the rocks.
Sounds very peaceful.
Yeah, and there's like tons of deers there. They're just like, they look at you like chewing their grass like, I dare you. Like, I get so close to deer there. I will say be careful for rattlesnakes as it gets warmer out there. So, Ute Valley Park. That's another one of my boasts.
You always have to put something negative in there.
I do.
There's rattlesnakes.
Listen, there's pros and cons to everything in life. And you can't just like make things rosy color. Anyway, speaking of rosy colored, what's your fourth one?
Okay, so this last one is Palmer Park. It's a good like, I guess it's hiking, but I feel like it's more like walking. Yeah. When I go there, I walk, I'm not like hiking.
Hiking.
But it's nice. It's not like in the mountains. It's actually not too far from
literally
campus.
right in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
I grew up here since I was 10, and like the first time I hiked Palmer Park was like when I was like 19.
Wow.
Because you just drive around it, you don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, you don't realize it's there. But it's sort of up on this big hill. It is nice because you have really nice views over Pikes Peak.
Yep.
So you're just looking at Pikes Peak the whole time. It's super pretty. And you can see the whole city, too, which is nice. But that's another spot I like.
It is a good spot. I would agree with that. I had one time where we kidnapped a friend and we watched the sunrise. It was a really bad sunrise because it was just gray.
I hate when that happens.
It was
you
so
get up
boring.
at 3 a.m. to go up somewhere
We
fun.
did, because he lived out in Falcon. So we had to go kidnap him in
perfect.
Falcon, bring him back.
I'm sure
and it went from dark gray to gray.
loved that.
Yeah, and it was super funny because then we were just like, well, what do we do now? So we went to Chapel Hill Mall back when it was still like, a thing. And we watched old people power walk.
Oh, wow. That sounds like I don't know, dull.
Yeah, and then we fell asleep on the putt-putt. It was an interesting experience. I will also say this. I recently found out that Palmer Park is a cruising location. So, yeah.
And that was my boast? Okay.
So, just maybe don't look too closely in the bushes, is all I'm going to say. Just, enjoy your hike, and if you, feel like there could be someone off in the distance, keep your eyes on the trail and keep walking.
There's always something negative.
There is! Oh, my goodness. So, speaking of which, we can move to our bores. Yes. So, people are going to give me shade for this, but I have recently I used to love going to Garden of the Gods as a kid, and now it's so annoying because there's so many people there now. Did you know that the day after spring break, first day of spring break in 2020, I just learned this yesterday, there were 70,000 people that went into the park this first Saturday of spring break.
One day?
One day. It's crazy. I can't enjoy it anymore.
Well,
Annika?
Okay, here's the thing.
Here's what thing?
No,
Annika.
You need to go. So there's the main parking lot areas.
Which is
crazy.
crazy.
You need to keep driving and you need to go down to the Siamese Twins parking lot or the Trading Post parking lot if Siamese Twins is full. And you just park there and there's quiet trails and you can just walk and it's much nicer. You can still see the little rocks that everyone loves.
Little red rocks.
Yes. But you're not being suffocated by
humans?
tourists and humans, correct?
Yeah, specifically
correct.
tourists.
Yes, tourists.
All right, I'll try your way. We'll see if I like
yes,
it.
okay,
I will say one spot
that
I used to love would be early mornings or sunsets. I hate going to Balancing Rock because it's also super packed, but you can hike over and around it towards Manitou, and there are these beautiful slabs of red rock, and I think they're turning them into hiking trails. They're
cool.
expanding the park because it's so big.
So you were saying that you were going not on trails to get to them originally? Question mark. Brandon!
This, it was bad. I was bad. All right, so now your turn.
Okay, yes.
What's one that you hate?
My bore.
Yes.
This one also might get hate. But mine is the Incline, which...
Screw the Incline.
Okay.
I hate that place.
No. Okay, this needs a backstory. So 3 summers ago, I was in the best shape of my life, and I did the Incline, at least once a week. I could get up that thing in, less than 45 minutes, which...
That's impressive.
For me is impressive. And, yeah, I went a lot. And now, with COVID and everything else, I'm not in as good shape. And if you are not in shape, you cannot enjoy the Incline. It's not possible. It's just, you can't.
Maybe that's why I've never liked it. I've never been in shape.
I know. Okay, well, I don't know how to respond to that. But seriously, and also, okay, there's so many things I could say about why the Incline is just not it, But one of them is the fact that there's so many people that go, so you have to go early. Another place you have to go early. Yeah. And people don't know what they are getting into.
They don't.
So they get up maybe a quarter of the way, and then they're sitting on the stairs in everyone's way.
Puking.
And it's just busy. Oh, I have puked going up it. But I made it to the top still.
I kept going.
I did. Well, that was...
there's a false summit, which really messes with your brain.
Yeah, it does. That, too. You have to know about that. And then if you don't, you're yeah.
The first time I ever climbed it, I climbed it with this, men's group. And we had to, carry a cooler up it.
Ew.
And if it touched the ground, we as a group had to go back down 100 steps.
Why?
Because the group I was in liked torture. New Life Church.
Shout out!
Shout out! Yeah, it was a group. Okay, this is hilarious now, knowing where I'm at now, my journey. The men's group was called The Frat.
Oh
and it was a Christian men's group. I know.
Who were you?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Yeah. Well,
I've come to the light.
Anyway, there's all the reasons why you shouldn't do the incline.
It's terrible. And I'm going to add another one. I would get up and I'd run down bar trail.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And it ruins your knees.
Does it really?
It does. You have to, like, walk down it, which is
takes
stupid.
like 3 hours.
Yeah,
no,
it takes
not
so,
actually.
but kind of.
It's like a whole day event to walk down bar trail.
Yes.
And if you try walking down those steps, A, you look like an asshole, and B,
it also hurts your knees because I did that once.
You will fall. Like, you will fall.
Okay, so I went down it, and I did not fall, but my knees were screwed for months. Annika fell.
Yeah, I did. And some lady was like, you really shouldn't be doing this. And I was like, you know what? Mind your business.
There are so many people that go down it. She can mind her own business.
I know. Anyway.
Gross. Okay, I'm adding another bore, and this one's a recent one. I've lived here since I was 10. I'm 31. And I've always looked at Blodget, and I'm like, oh, I want to climb Blodget. Blodget. It's a fun little spot, Blodget. Where is it? Is that what your face is saying?
No,
right
where
now,
is
Annika?
that? I'm like, I've never even heard of it.
So if you're looking at Pikes Peak, it's to the right. It's in Mountain Shadows. You can't see it from here. Annika's looking out the window. It's like, so Woodman, do you know Woodman Road?
Yeah.
So you exit Woodman, and then Woodman cuts right and goes into that cool, cute neighborhood that's also super expensive up in the mountains. There's this cute, I don't know if it's Franciscan. I think it is Franciscan. There's a nunnery back there. Oh. So it's a cute little retreat. Anyone can go there. And it's also got some beautiful rocks like Garden of the Gods hidden back there. Mm-hmm. And you can do like a little labyrinth, a little prayer labyrinth, which is awesome. Okay. But above that is Blodget.
Okay. So the nunnery is the good part.
Sure. Yeah, it's at the bottom.
And Blodget is the bore.
It is the more than bore. It's horrible. It bore holes into my feet, literally. So it's Easter. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to be with my family this year. I want to have Easter by myself. So I grab a bottle of wine. I grab a loaf of bread. And I'm like, I want to go on a little hike.
Bread and wine.
For communion. Okay. For Easter. Come on.
Love it.
Yeah. So the blood and body of Christ. So I'm like, well, let's go on a cute little hike. And I've driven past the trailhead so many times. And I've seen so many people. And I've seen families there. I'm like, oh, it must not be that bad. Wrong. They stop. They only go up like a little bit. But I'm super stubborn.
Okay. And
so I'm going up this mountain, and I got off the trail multiple times. It's easy to lose the trail. You have to rock scramble, which I'm fine. And I've climbed 14ers, awesome. But I did not have the mindset of I'm climbing a 14er. Right. I thought to myself, I'm just climbing this cute little mountain. Mm-hmm. And
with your wine and your bread.
With my wine and bread. Oh, best part, and wearing chacos. Because, had to feel like Jesus in sandals.
Right.
And so, literally bore holes in my feet like Christ. God. And
this is like an entire experience. And the fact that it was on Easter, I can't.
I have holes in my feet. There weren't holes in my wrists. And I get up to the top, and it was so rough, so painful. I will say the view is gorgeous. It is a gorgeous view, especially with the burn, and it's close to the scar. And so you see all that from a different angle, and that's really cool. And then there's Pikes Peak. But, it was a horrible hike. It's so steep. It's as steep as the incline, but there are no steps. It's just sand. Okay. You're just, coming down.
That sounds horrible.
It was rough. Don't do that one. Blodget. Avoid. And that was this
Can we please keep that in?
Sure. Here we go. And that was the last episode of Boasts and Bores for the semester.
Join us again in the fall, where we'll talk about what we love
and what we hate every week. And check out all our other episodes on the Scribes website.
And follow us on Instagram at UCCS Scribe.